Hello everybody, just before I start this video I just want to put a little disclaimer out there to say that I keep on losing my I keep on doing that. I keep on losing my trail of thought. I keep on forgetting the words that want to come out my mouth. Like, I can hear them in my head but I can't say them. I'm on quite strong medication at the moment. I'm on some painkillers for tonsillitis, so please excuse me if I do make mistakes. It can't really be helped, unfortunately, so I hope you guys can be patient and bear with me. The topics that I am going to be covering today are confidence and self-love and why they are so important. Now, the reason that they're so important, in my opinion, is because, well, if you're confident and love yourself in a I don't want to use the word normal, but more like non-arrogant way, if that makes sense. I feel like it will get you further in life, it will make you happier, and it's just better for you overall, in a healthy way. That's what I was trying to say. When I say self-love, I don't mean like you see yourself as better than everyone else, or you think you're the most wonderful thing to have ever happened to the earth. I mean, you can look at yourself and not think negative thoughts. For example, I know when I was a bit younger, and even to this day I still do it, I'll look at myself sometimes and think, oh, like, say, let's just pretend that you're my mirror right now. I would walk up to the mirror and be like, whoa, my eyes are like two different shapes. Oh, I've got so many freckles. Oh gosh, look at my teeth, they're horrible. My hair is so short and I'm so fat. And now I'll walk up to the mirror and think, hey, my eyes look like a really pretty colour in this lighting today. Oh, my freckles have come out, that shows that it's summer. My hair's growing and it's healthy. And if I want to lose weight, then I can go on a diet and exercise. That's how I look at things now. Now, although that may not seem like a big deal to some of you guys, it is for me, because I actually got diagnosed with cognitive behavioural problems maybe 2 years ago, but it is something that I've suffered with for most of my life. And what that basically means is I tend to have hateful thoughts toward myself. So that could be anything from, it's not body dysmorphia as such, but I see myself differently to how you see me. Like, for example, I used to see myself as really ugly and really fat. I'd always think my hair was really short. Even when I was younger and my hair would go like to here, I would still think it was really short and ugly and just, ugh, I just didn't like anything about myself. And see, this isn't something I really planned on saying in this video, but I feel like I need to be really honest in this topic. It used to make me want to harm myself, and I did sometimes, not in like a cutting way, but I would harm myself mentally. I would tug at my hair to a point where it would rip out. However, that was possibly down to stress as well, so I can't completely blame that down to how I felt about myself. That was stress, because at the time that I got diagnosed I was going through a really stressful time in my life. So for me to have come from hating every single aspect of myself to be able to look in the mirror and even point out just one thing that I like about myself is a huge step, which has took around 3 years to get to. If you also suffer from the same thing, or just need a general confidence boost or a kick to, you know, love yourself a little bit more, I'd like to share with you how I managed to get to where I am today, where I can look in the mirror and think, you know what, I look really good today. And although it is a hard place to get to, it's so brilliant once you get there. It's great. And the way that I got there was by, well, actually using this camera. I've always wanted to do vlogs for the past 2 years, always wanted to do vlogs. And as soon as I pick up the camera and start filming, I'd be looking like this at the viewfinder. I wouldn't be looking at the thing, at the lens of the thing. I wouldn't be looking straight at the lens like I am now. I'd be looking like this, and I'd find myself, you know, playing with my hair and covering things up and just generally touching my face and then checking that my eyes are okay. Are they looking weird? What's the top of my hair like? Oh, that looks greasy, let me sit up like that. And I just couldn't concentrate on what I was doing. So what I then decided to do was not to post any of those videos, but I decided to instead now this might sound really weird, but it worked for me, so hear me out. may well work for you. I used to zoom right in on my face onto the places where I would be really insecure, and I would check them out like really zoomed in. I think I'm going to show you guys what I used to do. It's a little bit weird to me, and I am incredibly self-conscious about doing this, but if it helps someone, then why not? Okay, so this is what I used to do. I used to zoom in on my face exactly like this, and I would look at my eye shape in the viewfinder like I am now. As you can see, this eye is slightly different to this eye in the sense of it's slightly longer across the top here, and this eye is more rounded in my opinion. Also, my eyebrows are completely different shapes. This one is longer, and I think this one is more pointed. Yeah, this is the one that's more pointed, and I have so many freckles across my face and I used to be really self-conscious of that, because I would see all these other YouTubers and people who post up vlogs, and their skin would be completely flawless and they would just look so gorgeous and amazing and fabulous, and I would then be like, oh, look at me with like my muddy freckly complexion with my unmatching eyes. What's the point in me posting a video? I'm only going to look at it and hate myself, and I'm going to get so many hateful comments saying how ugly I am. I'm just not going to bother. And then one day I bit the bullet, and it was hard, but I bit the bullet and I decided to film a video, which is the first video I posted on here, where I would like vlog, like walk around and vlog, because I did have some videos previous to that but I deleted them all. And in this vlog, if you went back and watched it now, I think it's like the vlog number 1, walk arounds with me, antique store video, I think it's called something like that. I'm not too sure, you'll have to check it out on my channel if you're interested. But I would be doing exactly what I said. I'd look in the viewfinder and I would be like, oh, sorry about how I look, guys. Oh, and in my head I would be thinking, stop apologising for how you look and just get on with it. No one cares probably. But I couldn't stop saying sorry. So I don't think I do that as much anymore. Although it's in my head to do it, I try and stop myself from doing it, if that makes any sense. I realised that I was starting to go off on a little bit of a tangent there. So back onto the subject that we were talking about, which is how you can help yourself to get to the point where I'm at, if this is the point that you want to be at. Aside from zooming in on my face, I mean, that's just my way. I've never known anyone else to do it, but it did work for me. So if you have the facility to do that, then I would recommend it. It is hard at first, but once you've gave it a few tries and you get more used to it, then I promise that you will start to feel better about yourself. There are other ways of going about it though. I actually received counselling for something else that happened to me, a little bit of a traumatic event that happened in my life, and I mean, I can talk about that in a different video, which is fine, but I'm not going to cover that today because this is not what that video is about. But while I was at counselling, that is where I got diagnosed with the cognitive behavioural problem. I think that's what it's called. My mind's gone blank. Like I said, I'm on some strong painkillers. That's where I got diagnosed with it, and she gave me a couple of tips on how to try and overcome it, which one was to hold a little compact mirror like this, just like this one that I have here. This is just a blusher compact, which is really old and dirty, so I couldn't possibly have picked out a worse one to use, but that's the one that I would be using. And she said to just hold it in front of me like this and then say something pretty to myself, say something pretty say something that I found pretty about myself. So for example, you have really pretty eyes, I like your freckles, I like your hair, things like that. That did not work for me at all because I felt really embarrassed and awkward, but if it works for you, go ahead and do it. She also recommended standing in front of a mirror naked. I know that sounds a bit weird, but because I had some body issues as well, not just facial issues, she recommended that I stood in front of a mirror, a full-length mirror, naked if I could, and just to really look at myself in a non-critical way. So I would look at myself and think, oh, you know, I like this part of my body and that part of my body, and this part I don't really like, but in a constructive way I would overcome it by saying, well, I can diet, or I can exercise, or I can do this, this, this and this. And that is what I did. That one did work for me as well. I think that sort of has a link to the whole zooming in on my face thing as well, because that really helped me to overcome some body issues that I had. And I think the last thing that she recommended me do was to write a letter to myself, which didn't work at all. I didn't even try that because I thought, no, it's just not for me. Where I can't really remember exactly what she said, but I think it was something on the lines of write a letter to yourself saying all the things that you like, all the things that you like to work on, and then read it in the future. I don't know if I'm getting that right, but yeah, that's another thing that she recommended. I think that you'd probably be better off googling that though if you wanted to know more info on that, because I don't think what I've just told you is correct. One more thing that I've remembered that she did suggest that I do is to keep a diary every day, and just a small one, just to say today I felt really pretty because I had my hair cut and blow dried at the hairdressers, and I put on some new makeup and I felt really great. Then the next day, oh, I felt a bit rubbish today because blah blah blah, and that would maybe help me to identify the issues that I had with myself. Again, I didn't try that because I felt like the camera and mirror method, as I'll call them, worked for me. But if you think that'll work for you, then you could certainly go ahead and try it. I hope that this video has been helpful. I feel like I may have rambled on a little bit about certain things. I didn't mean to, and I do find this really, really hard to talk about. So I hope that this has helped in some way or another, or just even given you some food for thought. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everybody.